I just think the thing with Mourinho is you know, I think he's been fighting. I don't know about if the frustration's getting the better of him, because here we have a guy that's been super successful over the years at all these clubs, but he's been fighting fires at Chelsea at the end, fighting fires at Manchester United, and he's not going to get the money that he really needs at Tottenham.
Go on, Jan.
Yeah, now I just want to say, because it's interesting to talk about what Jurgen is talking about, being the manager and being the leader of a team. What do you have to ask about? You ask yourself or ourselves about Jose Mourinho is that I was a great fan of Jose Mourinho when he came to England, how he improved a Frank Lampard or a John Terry. But you have to ask yourself, does he reach this new generation of players coming through now? That is quite interesting, because you don't need this, or you need a different leadership maybe on different times. And if you see the managers now, the trend now with an Arteta or a Lampard or a Solskjaer, and still Jurgen Klopp very close to their players, Hansi Flick very close to this new generation of player. My generation, I had a manager in England who said the F word 52 times at a halftime, and I know because we counted it. And this new leadership that you demand now in 2020 is different. Does Jose Mourinho still got that? And I agree with Jurgen. Yeah, it's up to the players. Jose Mourinho can't score the goals, but still, when he kind of controls the dressing room, he has to kind of send the right words, and he just have to be on the right channel as the young players of 2020.
Jurgen?
No, I agree. I mean, nowadays it's far more complex, you know, guiding a dressing room, guiding a top team in the top leagues in Europe, because this new generation, it's just they function differently. You know, we live in the age of social media. They have other interests than we had, you know, in our days. And every year seems things are changing. Every year things, you know, I have again a different type of a generation in front of me. So you got to figure out as a manager, as a coach, you got to figure out how to communicate with all these different individuals. You know, the one needs a hug, the other one needs one-on-one conversations, the other one needs, maybe you need to go for a bike ride with him or have a beer with him. So it is very, very complex, absolutely. But I still think at the end of the day, you need to have a plan as a player. Yeah, when you are a player, when I put myself into the shoes of Harry Kane, you know, you gotta just ask yourself every single day, you know what, this is my career. I want to win the European Championship with England. I want to win the World Cup with England. I want to win the Premier League. So once I know what I want, then I got to make up a plan. I got to come up with something. So this is what is my plan. So when I played then at Spurs, I had to kind of change my plan. I saw I'm not winning anything with Spurs. Unfortunately, we lost in the FA Cup final and semi-final, and I said I got to move on. So I went then to Germany and won a couple of titles within 2 years. But these are the things where, you know, it's really tough for a lot of coaches and managers out there, you know, to constantly figure out how, you know, this young generation now figures things out, and how they react basically on and off the field. You still, I think, going back to Jan's words, I still think there are very young, amazing leaders already out there. If you look at Joshua Kimmich, you know, he's still, I think, 20, 22, 23 years old. But he plays and he behaves like he's a 30-year-old, you know, World Cup veteran. I mean, it's amazing. So everyone is different, and you got to figure out a way how to deal with them, and it has to match. You know, the whole chemistry, the whole big puzzle in every club, in every national team has to somehow find a way to get together.
I think I know what Jan's saying, but I honestly think that he knows, Jose Mourinho, how to deal with different players. A manager with that experience doesn't lose the ability to deal with a player, modern or not. But the one thing I would say, Jan, is look at the hard facts. Neither of the two teams, Manchester United or Tottenham, are good enough to be in the title race. It doesn't matter who's in there coaching these squads at the moment. I mean, he did get Man United to second place, And he said it was one of his best ever achievements. Now, you can take that as tongue-in-cheek or not, but, you know, at the end of the day, Man United are a little bit closer, but Tottenham, these clubs are miles off when you look at Liverpool, Jan, and Manchester City.
Yeah, I agree with you, but that is even more than valuable that you have the leader. I'm not having a go at Jose Mourinho. He's one of the most successful managers of his generation. I'm just saying, and I'm just putting it on the table, the challenge now, when you've been very good at one area, you saw Arsene Wenger. Wenger was a fantastic manager for Arsenal, won everything. He revolutionized English football with the way he turned it into, and suddenly he kind of lost it. He kind of lost it.
Yeah, but was that not recruitment? Was that not more a recruitment issue at Arsenal?
It's also recruitment. Of course it is. It's the same that but we can't say when he came there, when he took all the French players, Petit, Vieira, Henry, all the players he got there, that meant that he was a bad manager in the 90s and he just lost it. I think that in every aspect of life, being in business or in sport, there are leaders who kind of, do you develop? How curious are you to develop yourself as a leader? I'm not saying Mourinho is not doing that. I'm just asking, the leadership of 2005 is not the same as leadership of 2010. It's not the same as leadership in 2020. And then you have to ask yourself, if you have a look at all the managers, successful managers now, there are different types of players, of managers. And back to your point, Craig, with what's happening with his system and how he's played, do you look at Tottenham now and think, wow, I see the way they want to play. They're just unsuccessful. They don't achieve what they try to do.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.